Don't tell me, Joe. Welcome back, everybody. Welcome back to Phil's Recap and Review. We're back, and we're here to talk about another show on the list. It is Invincible Season 2, the Season 2 premiere, a lesson for your next life. The recap, breakdown, and review commentary live. The episode just dropped at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, and I think coordinated to your own time zone, figure that out. Those are the times the episodes drop. Invincible's been gone for a long ass time, and we're here to talk about this episode. And of course, I can't do this alone. Finally,
yes, you can.
I could do it alone.
You have.
I would. I mean, I would.
Will.
I was ready.
You're doing it alone right now. Bye.
There is 4 weeks here. I'm willing to bet at least one of these 4 weeks I will be doing this by myself or having a guest host.
No, I'm here for you.
But for now, I know it's only a 4-week commitment, and it's nothing to do with The Walking Dead. We have Joe Dirty Locks. Welcome back, Joe.
Good morning. Hey, you know what? Welcome back, everybody.
Oh, Joe is taking a shot to say hello as we're getting ready to talk about this season premiere of Invincible. If you're checking this out and you want to, and you can, please share this out to as many people. This is a new show. We don't expect to have too many people joining us live right now. I'm going to share it out to some Invincible groups on Facebook in a minute here, and but keep sharing this out. Hopefully we'll gain people over the season that are checking this show out. But if you haven't watched Invincible already, I do suggest you go back and check out season 1. But there is a cool little intro section to before the episode starts, a little
I'd
preview.
also say maybe you might want to check out Invincible's Adam and Eve prequelish,
yeah, and that it's very good. This is the thing that took me right away, Joe, to get right into it. And if you want to join us, you can call on in 781-990-8509. Leave a voicemail for now. We might open the lines for actual calls later, but definitely call in and leave a voicemail or a text, or jump into the live mother grabbing chat.
Mother grabbing.
Yeah,
because I went into my mother's room
and I grabbed her and I threw her in the chat, Joe. We'll call it something else a little later after the first 3 minutes of the goddamn stream. So we got Hemp in the live chat. We got John Haymaker. It's been a long time, but check it out. Pop it on in there. But yes, the thing that got me right away being back in the Invincible world, Joe, is because I just got off, and I wish we talked.
Sorry.
No, I wish we talked about it, but I've been bathing in the boys' world a little bit in the last,
me too.
Which has been great, which is freaking great. Gen
Did you
V.
watch V?
Yeah.
Did you watch?
Yeah. Great show.
We'll talk about that.
Yeah, we'll talk about that in a different stream. But
I don't even want to say whether I liked it or not.
But what I'm saying, and then also watching Peacemaker in the midst of that time, and Doom Patrol and stuff like that.
Fucking awesome.
So my mind was shifted so much to comedy. It took me a little bit in the beginning of this first episode to realize and remember how serious Invincible takes itself. It's a funny show. There's ridiculous stuff that happens, especially the Mahler twins in this episode. The voice of Lex Luthor from the original animated Superman animated series and Justice League animated series. He's a great voice actors on this damn show. Great freaking voice actors on this damn show. But it takes itself very serious, Joe. It's a serious tone. It's a dark tone. And they kind of kept the dark tone at the end of last season going through to the beginning of this episode.
I don't know. You know what caught me at the beginning of this episode?
The evil alternate universe crap.
Yeah, like what the fuck is going on? Like I neglected to do a rewatch. I have been, like you said, caught up in the boys. So I watched like the first half of the Gen V.
Yeah, did I call it Gen Z? Gen V.
Yeah.
It's Gen V, right?
Gen V. And I also rewatched the first like 3 seasons now, or 2.5 so far of the boys. So I forgot all about, and then you were like, "Yo,
yeah, we got to do this."
Shit.
And
so I didn't get a rewatch, so I was really confused at the beginning of this episode.
Right. So it had you. So they did do the scenes from last week and tell you exactly what was happening from last season, but ultimately where we left off at the end of last season. If people that haven't. Spoiler alert for Invincible all the way through. We're going to be talking about every episode, obviously breaking it down, doing a recap, and all of that. But coming off the end of last season, Nolan, you remember what happened with Nolan, right? He basically broke bad or something. Like, it came to an apex point where he could no longer hide that he killed all the Guardians, that he killed the Justice League.
And he beat up
Mark.
Invincible.
Right, because it basically got disclosed publicly. It was all on the air that Omni-Man was really evil, and he disclosed the whole thing where the Voltrumites, his race of
We're
people,
gonna come and take over the planet.
or they infiltrate people. They're almost like the changelings from Deep Space Nine, where they send somebody to live
to weaken the planet,
to come and take it over. And at the very beginning of this episode, why it was slightly confusing is they were doing the alternate universe thing, and they were kind of taking a piss out of it, which I appreciate, but they were also doing it and showing you that in another world, and in fact, our creature that zapped through everything, our villain of the moment that we saw, the world jumper, whatever you want to call him, is Invincible. Joins his father in almost every other universe
except this one.
Except for this one. This Invincible is special. He's the good one. All the other ones,
he's gonna die.
Or is he going to be the one that brings them all together, Joe? I don't know. I don't know the Invincible comics.
I was feeling a real, by the time we got into who this character was and what his deal was and the multiverse that he can command, I just started getting real fucking vibes of, that other story that's been in the works for a few years now.
Right, the other multiverse stories.
All of that shit that just reeked of it for me. Like, we did this with the DC Flash movie most recently. We did this before that with the Loki series. We did this also
Ninja Turtles,
Spider-Man movies.
Ninja Turtles did it too.
Recently again?
No, before.
Or are you talking about way back when?
Not way back when. Ninja Turtles did it at the beginning of this whole orchestration. Started with Turtles Forever, which was the 2000 Turtles mixed with the 1984 Turtles. But I don't know how much of this. I think this is just one storyline in a sense, their version of that. And I think it's more going to be satirical and even the ridiculousness of it all.
I started getting really bored about halfway through this episode, if I'm completely honest.
No, we'll get into it. You don't hold back, Joe. If you're not feeling something, we want to hear.
I'm not holding back. Like I said, I wasn't like starting to get disgusted. I got to tell you though, for the most part, I've been really fucking bored with television in general. I haven't found a good series to sink my teeth into. The Boys has been gone for so long. Peacemaker is not going to come back for like another 2 years or some shit like that, or another year or something. Like, there's really not too much TV that has been grabbing me and pulling me in. Almost everything. Like, if I'm going to be completely fucking honest right now, culminating with the end of season 4, Game of Thrones, like, there hasn't been any really great TV on. Like, 1889 or whatever the fuck it was, the prequel to Yellowstone was good. The first couple of seasons of Yellowstone were kind of intriguing.
I challenge you to...
But, like, honestly, that turned to shit. Fucking 1889 was one season. 1923 I couldn't get into. All the rest of the TV really just fucking sucks. Really fucking sucks. Challenge me. Give me something and tell me what to watch that's good that I haven't already shit on, and I'll go take a chance and watch it. And if what's his name is watching here,
Jay.
Jay. I've watched the first season of that Justice League, Young Justice, and I'm not shitting on that. That was good. I'm gonna continue watching that. I haven't gotten back to it. You did not steer me wrong with that. It's very similar to Invincible with less adult tone.
Right. See, what I like so much about Invincible, and I'm probably like things obviously more than you, but I do think we're on a downtrend when it comes to high quality television. I would say
huge downtrend, dumbing down, and like just fucking crap TV right now.
But there's still really good stuff within there that does exist here and there. And again, that's a different discussion. But like,
there's also another thing I have to say. Don't start telling me like, oh yeah, but if you get through the first 2 seasons of something, no, I'm not gonna waste 20 fucking hours of my life to finally find something that's good, and I ain't coming into the middle of the story fucking 20 hours lost from
Yeah,
what's
I
going
mean,
on.
I think we've passed that point because the whole thing with pilots don't really exist anymore. If a show gets picked up, it's usually picked up for a full season arc. So it makes sense that at this point, the way they make television, that if a show starts, it should start strong and grab you because there's a lot of analysis paralysis out there. And with Invincible, I hear what you're saying, Joe. This was an episode that sort of reset the deck. It definitely felt like a first episode of a longer story kind of situation. So I can understand maybe where you weren't as directly primary from the previous season, why it may meander a little bit for you in the middle. For me, I had just done a full rewatch of season 1. I'm kind of invested in this world at the moment, so the dialogue and just living in the universe again kind of carried me through. But it wasn't I agree with you in the sense it wasn't a tremendously sharp, exciting episode. There was just a lot of interesting stuff going on in building blocks kind of stuff that I really enjoyed. Foundation building, exactly. It was kind of for me anyways, that's how it felt.
It was setting up for the season, right? It was setting up, this is what the story is going to be. I really didn't, honestly, like, I thought it's culminating where, like, they should have just killed all the fucking blue guys. There was no need to bring that one back out of the fucking rubble and looking for his brother at the end.
That's one of the, how do I explain it? It's the joke of, like, Indiana Jones always picking up his hat. Those guys always have to survive.
You know what?
The cat came back the very next day. It was, it's kind of a joke that
right, and that's what the
surviving.
joke was too. Like, Hercules was back again, right? Or whatever his name was there, that gets chopped up at the beginning of it because he's in another universe and his head gets popped.
But that guy's the immortal. That's what he does. If you sew his body back together, he's just gonna.
He comes back, right?
That's
but
his.
This
His
head is popped, right? So
he's clear. He's clear. Oh yeah, in the other universe, but in the universe B, C, whatever type thing.
Right, and I'm just like, God, fucking dude, they killed Sean Bean. They killed Mark Addy.
They do it all.
Right? Like, you can kill these characters. You can kill all of them. You can kill any of them. The beginning of this series showed us they killed the entire fucking, Guardian League or Justice League or whatever the fuck they called it.
Yeah, the Guardians of the Galaxy there. Whatever you want to call it.
Like,
I kept forgetting what they called them. I kept calling them the Junior Justice League. There is, sorry to everybody about the chat on the screen. There's a problem with that level of technology right now. It's not working at the moment. Maybe it will figure itself out by the end of the stream. But I will keep reading the chat. The foundation. But yeah, if to me it felt very foundation building. But let's get into this episode. Let's not waste.
I do like all the characters are ripoffs of other characters.
Right. I mean, but
they
that
always will be.
Again, that's kind of the point. And what's interesting about it to me, and this is what I was kind of saying at the beginning, Joe, is unlike other properties that do something similar, it
basically wants to tell those same stories, but much more gore and much more adult-like.
Exactly, like darker in some ways.
But it really is kind of repeating and meshing a lot of, like, different stories.
Yeah, and I mean, I think that
it tells the Superman story a little bit differently. He didn't come here as a kid. He came here as a soldier. He came here with a fucking purpose to just, like, take over Earth.
Joe, Joe, we have our first super chat donation from Kelly Johnson, who sent us money on our Cash App to avoid those YouTube fees. Thank you so much, Kelly.
Oh, you know what that means.
Appreciate it. That means we got to take a drink. But he says,
landed on drink.
For Phil, did you read the whole Invincible run? No, I did not read the Invincible run, but I will be honest that I did sort of comic skip read the storyline. So I do have a basis in my mind of where the story is going to eventually go.
You want to send me the first edition printings 1 through, like,
Joe will read it.
I'll absolutely read them.
Have you read it, Joe?
No, like I said. I haven't read them. I will eventually read them. Um, I'll buy a compendium. I dig compendiums.
Yeah, it gives you some.
If
It gives
I'm
you
gonna
some.
buy an actual comic book, man, that shit's not getting fucking opened by me.
Yeah,
Are you kidding me? It's getting put right in the fucking envelope and it's getting sent to fucking CGI to get graded and fucking case.
and
And if it comes back anything less than a 9.8,
yeah,
then I'll crack
you're
it
not
and I'll fucking read it.
exactly. You're not opening that shit up. We got another super chat from Kelly Johnson. Says Phil, I prefer Bruce Timm's animation style to this. Me too. My favorite animation style is the Batman the animated style, and even I like or Superman the animated series style, and even I would say I like the restyle that they did in the New Adventures or the Justice League. I just there's something about that animation style that works for my eyes, or Mask of the Phantasm, the way that movie looks. There's a lot of great anime and animation styles that exist. Everything works, but to me, the narrative and the
There is a
story,
lot of different style of animation.
and they all work in different things. But for me, really, it comes down to the story, because I don't hate it, but I really don't like 3D model animation. It's just not my favorite stuff to watch. But I will argue that Toy Story trilogy is the greatest trilogy of all
It's
time.
some great fucking animation.
And
Dude, Ants was a great movie. Fucking Army Men was
like
a great
you know
movie.
good when you see good. Or I was gonna say also the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Nickelodeon 2012 series. I hate the animation style, but it's my favorite Ninja Turtles series because of the storylines. And I think Invincible, what makes Invincible awesome for me, Joe, is it's just good storytelling. I understand where you're saying you're bored, you weren't necessarily captivated by it tonight, but I think that is what the magic of Invincible is for me. Is sometimes it lives in the mundane and shows you that.
If you remember when I first told you about this shit, right? You'll remember I fell asleep
You
in
did.
episode one. Katie had to tell, and I wasn't ever going to turn it back on again. And Katie was like, I don't know why I left that bullshit on that you had on when you had fallen asleep, but I watched the rest of that episode.
And you got to do it.
You got to put that shit back on and finish it.
And Joe,
And
I'm willing to bet by the end of
this could be the same deal.
Right, I'm willing to bet by the end of this 8-episode run, and we might not get it in these first 4, but by the end of this 8th episode, you're gonna be like, I'm glad I went through this.
And you know what? I'm not, just because I got bored in the episode. I rushed home tonight from work. I got on, watched it immediately as soon as I walked through the door, and like, I got to admit, I kind of got bored with it. My attention was distracted with my cat and trying to like get home. And
did your dog eat your homework, Joe? Is that basically what you're saying?
Right, essentially. So like my distractedness led to maybe some of the like feeling of the episode wasn't keeping me. But I'm gonna watch it. Katie's not home yet. She went down to her sister's house with her brother, and they're not back yet. When they get back this evening, I'm gonna watch it again.
And we'll see. You'll see how you feel about it, and then we'll see next week. And if you feel the same way next week, it'll be more of a thing. You know, it's like it's just Joe is ranty, but he's not knee jerk ranty. It takes weeks.
I'm retrospective right now, and
you also don't still have the same feel from the end of last season and realize how emotionally high you were on it because it was 3 years ago, or however long it was. Phil,
it was at least 2 years ago that it ended. Yeah,
something ridiculous like that. Phil, what's your PayPal name? It's one of my emails, I think. I don't log into PayPal too often. Give me a second, Kelly. Thank you so much for the donations, though. I very, very much appreciate it. Amicus says, and the consequences of having superpowers, absolutely. Tracy G, the wonderful, amazing Tracy G. I love the gargoyle.
That's one of the things I love about The Boys is that's all about the consequences of having superpowers, especially when you get into Generation V. They start talking about it. And in some of Generation V, they bring up, they address shit. Now, I don't know if they planned this, but I'm watching season 3 and they're mentioning shit about like what's his name? A-Train is talking to the racist guy that's beating up black people, the racist superhero, right? Yep. And they're talking, And he goes, "What do you mean, man? We went to school together. We went to so and so's classes together, about how to crime fighting classes together." And it's like little details like that. That as I was watching, I was like, "Holy shit, that's straight up set up for Generation V."
Yeah, it's world building shit. You know,
So like they get into that consequence of like the power. When you got your powers, how did you get them? One of the girls, I'm gonna spoiler, blows her fucking family up from the inside out with blood and shit, right? Like,
and I think both of these shows, that's the connective tissue of both shows, except Invincible does it in a more serious way, and The Boys does it in a more ridiculous, absurdist way. But both
I don't.
and I think both shows are just as good. I don't want to get bought. We're going to definitely talk about the most recent.
Some strong vodka.
We're going to definitely talk about the Boys coming up, and we'll get into that. And the Boys animated series was pretty damn good too. But okay, so let's get.
I'm sorry. I just want to say that The Boys, as gory and as humorous as it is, it's also very serious. It's also very true to life.
Yeah.
Like they get into like the graphic natures, like the big long penises, or the little tiny girls humping big penises, or jumping into the vagina or the anus, or up the penis.
The important stuff, Joe.
Whatever the case is.
I appreciate you using the medical terms.
The reason why that's fucking happening in those shows is because 100%, without a doubt, that shit is happening in real life. If we had those powers, all of us.
Oh, 100%.
Right? Like you do it. Like the perversions that go on in someone's private bedroom are boundless, right? And consenting, it's whatever. And
dude, you just sound like
it's graphic, and they're showing it to us, but none of it, and it's funny because, and it's like that kind of ha funny in the way that like internal, like big mouth funny, where like you're laughing at that shit because like half that shit was thoughts in your head when you were in fucking middle school, or shit did when you were in middle school,
about the shit you would do if you had superpowers and shit like that.
And that's what this is about. This is the shit that all regular people would end up fucking doing. If I had the ability to pop heads, are you fucking kidding? Like with the blink of an eye, or like with the glaze over of an eye, like somebody's head pops down the fucking street. Are you kidding me? You know how many people would not have heads at this fucking moment? If I could be like invisible, like fucking the Invisible Man guy, like,
so if
that dude hangs out in bathrooms, I'm not sure where I would fucking be.
So if you were invincible and Larry turned out to be Omni-Man, are you joining him or are you fighting him?
It depends on what point in my life he decided to be like, yo, this is the new mission. Like, hey, good evening, guys. If he comes out with that shit, you know, when I'm in middle school, I'm joining him. If he comes out with that shit when I'm like a freshman in college, you know, a lot's changed by then. You know what I mean? Like, if he comes out with that shit in my 30s and I'm already a fucking superhero.
So the logistics are going to matter.
This is what Katie just came home with, just so you see. From my brother-in-law. Now, I wouldn't touch this shit.
Is that brownies? No, I'm kidding.
But Katie's all over it. Like I said, I don't know, 2 or 3 ounces of weed. She's going to go smoke it all to her head right now.
That is Invincible. And I also like in this episode that they...
Not me. I ain't going to touch that shit.
I like in this episode how they played on the Invincible joke from the first season. Joe, I don't know if you remember that, as Joe might need a few minutes. If you need to step away from
Nah. She can bother us. She's giving me stank eye, though, because she wants all my attention. She's nodding her head yes. You can have it in 30 minutes. All of my love. All of my love. All of my love for you.
Oh.
I want a squirrel now, Daddy.
Wow.
Okay, Veruca.
We got a little Veruca song.
Crow.
Exactly, John Haymaker. It's for medicinal purposes.
Verucro, Katie. Verucro. Verucro salt.
Medicinal purposes. So, Joe, let's just get into this now, since we want to start the party. So let's get into this.
Yeah, and because I can't say it's not oregano or parsley. It's homegrown. It wasn't grown by my brother-in-law. It was grown by a neighbor of his. But my brother-in-law cured it, dried it for him, and kept it instead of giving it back.
It's parsley. It's fucking parsley.
Some shit like that too. So good.
Let's.
Oh, she brought home artisanal pizza too.
Ooh.
You know what? I'm gonna do this for Katie because she's home. Cheers, Katie's being home.
Yeah, it's just for the cataracts kids.
And someone, Kelly Johnson, put up PayPal there.
Yes, or asking for my PayPal.
No, she gave it.
I do. I need to give that. I need to give that shit. I think it's just my email. I think it's my email.
Cookies.
So, to get into this recap of this episode, we open up in our recap, and goddamn, right away we see Nolan again. And he immediately, the animation looks better than last year. He's in a desert and people are flying in the sky. The Immortals versus Invincible. We're back to last season where the two are at it. And the animation is great. The series really draws in that violence. Joe, a lot of series film violence and stuff. This is one of the things I really like about this show. It's like a video game when you feel the punch. I feel the violence when they do it on this show. The blood, the gore, all that kind of stuff is exceptionally done well. And it looks like the Immortals getting the best of Invincible, but here comes Omni-Man breaking his arm.
Oh, I just sliced it right. This is what's ridiculous to me about this fight. Don't like what?
It's Omni-Man.
I went through this before. It doesn't matter who anyone is, whether they're in whatever this dude, Hercules or whatever the fuck he is, Zeus or whoever the fuck he's supposed to be, this immortal,
the immortal,
and all of them.
Bruce, like, why do you keep calling him Bruce? I'm curious. What? You keep calling the immortal Bruce for some reason.
Hercules.
Zeus. Bruce.
I don't know. For some reason, it reminds me of Hercules from like the old comics.
So where's Bruce?
Not like actual Hercules.
So where's Bruce coming from? Where's Bruce coming? Like
Zeus.
Oh, Zeus. I keep thinking you're saying Bruce.
Hercules or Zeus.
I'm like, are you calling him Bruce Springsteen?
Yeah.
Hercules.
So like, I don't know why, but for some reason, he looks like a character from the comic books that was dressed like that. That for some reason I thought was Hercules back in the day. I don't know. But for some reason that's stuck in my head. It's bad. I'll get over.
No,
it.
Actually, what's funny about that?
Be slicing through all of them.
What's funny about that character is you said Invincible should be able to slice through all of them.
Yeah, not just Invincible, but like Invincible's young and he doesn't quite know what he's doing yet. Maybe he's not as strong as his dad because he's only half human.
Or he just hasn't developed his power. One thing about the Vultramites that I will disclose from the comics or whatever the fuck they're called is they get
full power.
They get stronger as they get older. Okay,
until what?
Until they reach like apex points. There's some like level of strength that they're on, like 7,000 power, 6,000 power. Like they get to be this. It's a battle royal Dothraki thing where they fight each other for who's the most powerful one eventually, and that kind of shit. They love to fight, and the older they get, the more obviously there's probably a point where they reach an end point, but something about their cellular regeneration just makes them keep getting stronger and stronger as time goes on. We're going to learn about more of that stuff, I think, as the series goes on. So that's why Nolan could just destroy him, not just the half-human thing, which is a factor, but ultimately also because he was older than him and could just fuck him up easily. Nah. But that's the thing. It's another world you don't really give a fuck about learning about when it comes down to it. But there are sort of that world does exist to a certain extent of the way that all those things make sense. And in this situation, the Immortal is a strong competitor, but he's not Vultramite strong. But
so Omni-Man, like really, when he came down and he cut his hand off, why didn't he just cut through his whole fucking body?
Comedic value.
Yeah, would have been even more comedic if he just swooped down and fucking blow him up from across the room with fucking laser ball eyes.
I mean, I think when this really comes down to it, it's going to end up being a lot more about insane battles between certain characters that are going to pop up. So
I understand this, but like I say, the Superman is the Superman.
But in this world, it's not that clear. But in
Nobody's
this
fucking
world, it's
Superman.
not that clear. There is no single Superman. And if there is, he's voiced by Worf.
Like, even anybody who's ever gotten the best of Superman, Superman still wins in the end.
Okay, but Superman's not here, Joe.
No, Omni-Man. Same thing.
Omni-Man's not... Okay, we'll get into this in a second. Kelly Johnson has another Super Chat question. Thank you so much. He found my PayPal. Phil, these fights are nothing compared to when Conquest arrives. Slight spoiler for the comics, and these are questions because they're Kirkman is reshuffling the deck. He's not necessarily doing it beat for the comics. It didn't in the first season. He is doing it different right now as well. When do we think, for the people that do know this, and put it in the comment section if you're watching this later, at what point do you think Conquest shows up? I think he's probably the spoiler or the cliffhanger from the end of this season into the next season. Or is he going to be in episode 4?
What is Conquest, the leader of the Voldemites?
Not necessarily, Joe, but he's the next Voltramite you're going to meet.
Okay.
So,
and I'm taking it he's not a fan of Omni-Man.
Or he's not a fan of what happened, because at the end of last season, one of the things you might not remember at the end of last season, do you remember the Seth Rogen alien that we see at the end of last season?
We see him in the middle of the season too.
Right at the end of the season when they talk and they have a conversation with Mark at the end of the season, kind of clue him in. Says the Voltramites know that Omni-Man's gone now. They're going to know what happened here and that he left.
Wait. See, I don't remember him killing Omni-Man.
He didn't. He was about to kill Mark, and Mark said, "Because in
500 years I'll be with you."
Yeah, he's like, I'll still have you, Dad. And then Omni-Man said, "Fuck this," peaced out to another planet. And
okay, so he just left the planet,
or left this. We don't know where he went.
He might have gone home, or he might have
pieced out somewhere else. We don't know. I do know where he went, but he went somewhere, and we're gonna catch up with him eventually. Spoiler alert.
Okay. But he's not on Earth right now.
Right. So the Voltramites are gonna find out that happened, and they're gonna send somebody else. The somebody else that they theoretically might send is probably gonna be this Conquest guy, or at least it is in the comics. Exactly. As Amicus said it in the live chat, Joe, Omni-Man abandoned his post. So someone needs to step up and
come get their post.
Exactly. I'm not saying it's this Conquest.
So that's going to be Conquest.
So you ain't seen.
It's going to be a big meanie.
Maybe you ain't seen nothing yet, Joe. Soon you're gonna one day.
Yeah, we ain't seen nothing yet.
One day you're gonna see Freddie Mercury, and don't forget I said it. Okay, so we get this whole thing.
I've seen Brian May.
We can't. He has a great orchestra. So Nolan.
No, he didn't have an orchestra with him on it.
Oh, it wasn't the Brian May.
Open for Guns N' Roses.
Oh, interesting. I saw
at Cumberland County in '93.
I saw Soundgarden open for Guns N' Roses. So Nolan is like, I wish the immortal would learn, and we just get some back and forth between the two of them, and it is fun, and we also see the Resistance, and we follow this one character that we can see is our person that can warp from place to place. Mark and Omni-Man are now the commanders. Nolan takes apart the robot. There's not too much I want to talk about this beginning segment because it's an alternate universe, so it doesn't matter so much. But we just basically see Mark and Omni-Man taking over the fucking world.
Well, and propaganda speech going on over and over on like time
right, that was kind of cool.
All over the world.
Mark's propaganda speech, and
we're gonna if you resist, we're gonna kill you. Everybody who's died because they resisted. Don't resist,
right?
And we'll have a nice peaceful.
No one will be sick. No one will. Everything will be okay.
And there's an underground.
Yeah, there's the underground, and they decide, but basically Nolan and Mark break in there, and they decide to kill everybody. And it's a really fun, and this is where this show gets me, Joe, and I hope it gets you at some point too. The dialogue is just so dark and insanely funny. If on a Brechtian, like, fucked up level, like the conversation, like Mark and Nolan are like, hey, you want to go get drinks later? Oh, we're gonna kill all these people. Well, what are you gonna be? No, whatever. Shut up. Now
we gotta kill all these people first. Let's get this done.
Yeah, you want to do like just like we're talking about taking a jog to D's court, or you know what I mean? Like it's just matter of factly, and it's that dark kind of sense that I really enjoy about this show. And then we cut into I love that this show is able to pay for soundtrack music. I think this was an exceptional choice for music. I'm not the
Oh,
biggest Radiohead fan, but I
dude,
thought
this song is that song in particular, Karma Police, is fucking amazing.
amazing, and it worked so well here. And it was just a really unbelievable open to go back to Mark's universe and see the fallout from the emotional weight that Mark feels for what happened with Nolan. And it's something that we never really dealt with in Superman and Superman versus Zod. We dealt with a little bit in Batman versus Superman, but in the sense of the destruction that happens when these two titans fight. And Mark really, even though he was the one that got his ass kicked, takes so much of the emotional blame for what happened in Chicago. And that was played out so perfectly with the song Karma Police as he's Joe, and I just thought this was orchestrated and put together super perfectly. Keep singing it, Joe. Sing. This is what you get. Tade, Tade, wherever you are, it is out right now. Wherever you are, Invincible Season 2 has officially dropped. Hey, I don't care if you haven't watched the show, Jackie C. It's still amazing to have one of the best, beautiful, amazing people, Jackie C, in the live motherfucking chat. John Haymaker, this is what you get when you fuck with us. It was just so well done. And you see him helping out and trying to do stuff, stopping crimes, but helping the cops do the stops. He brings the ambulance to the hospital really quick. I thought that was an actual really awesome scene. And Glenn, our buddy Glenn, does really great work here. I believe he's a kid. I'm not thinking of Glenn at all. I have to think about it to hear Glenn's voice. He really does the kid voice exceptionally well. And I said this earlier, Joe. I know you might not be as tickled pink about this stuff as I do, but the voice cast on this show is really good. They're just all really good actors, and they're people that have been involved in other projects and other big animated projects. I mentioned it before. The Mahler twins is the voice of Lex Luthor from the Superman in the Justice League animated series. Obviously, Omni-Man is J.K. Simmons, and we got Glenn from The Walking Dead playing Invincible. Seth Rogen, lots of other voices that are going to pop up at different times or have popped up at different times in the show. I swear I heard George Takei in this episode at one point in time, but I'm not sure if I did. So it's just a really similar. Someone mentioned Gargoyles earlier. Gargoyles was another show that just had such a great voice cast. This show has an exceptional voice cast, and the animation really tickles my eyes. They really adds textures. You can see the money and the attention that went into this. The storyline in this episode wasn't the most exciting thing in the world. It didn't keep me captivated, locked to the screen through the entire time. I was straying to my phone a little bit, but I did feel every scene that Mark was in was very emotional. As he heads to the roof, he sits there, and we get some of the aftermath of the devastation of Chicago and Omni-Man in his fight. I know you don't remember a lot, Joe, but do you remember that fight between Omni-Man and him? Yeah.
Yes, I do.
Few says, instead of Rex sacrifice himself in the first student, shouldn't he let Kate...
One of the best parts of that whole series, first season, is him holding him through the fucking subway train.
100%. And I think...
bodies blasting all around him, fucking just holding him as the train splits on the two of them.
And Joe, that is what the high point of this series is, in the sense. It's the dramatic texture of the scenes between the actors, and it's also the graphic insanity to the sense of stuff that kid Nick would show us back in the house that you lived in, you know.
Ninja Scrolls, fucking Fists of the North Star.
Yeah, with the penis tentacle things and shit.
Like, he was into all that early fucking
before anyone else was.
Anime movies.
Before
like Japan anime series, like this was way before Pokemon. Him became a mainstream thing.
Him and our buddy from Nahant named Brendan were the two people that were the first people I knew that was into that style. That
I had already seen a couple of those movies. Like I was a few years older than him, and I was into anime before like even you or anybody else and shit. Like
Jackie C, I'm fancy
like
tonight.
Ben got me into a lot of the anime that I was into comic books as a young kid. So like
Yeah, you were more into
and
comic.
like I loved some of those old Japan animes like like Robotech,
Yeah.
and there was a bunch of other ones
I
like
feel like this animated series is majorly influenced by that kind of stuff.
right. This really just seems majorly influenced by DC and Marvel.
I mean, I think it is influenced by that in the sense of the way that the character models, in the sense of the way the tick is influenced by all that stuff too. But I think the show itself has a lot more depth of heart in what it's trying to do. As Prue says in the live chat, not gore just for gore. Remember the first mother and child Mark sees dying and the holds in hand? Absolutely, at the beginning of that scene. And I think where this show hits for me personally, and this is going to be great to watch this with you, Joe, because I do appreciate the alternative perspectives of it and stuff like that, because it's not something you're going to just say, because a lot of people group The Boys and Invincible together without even thinking about it. And they're two completely different things. They're both high quality, top of the line in this post like excessive superhero world. They're both relevant products that should exist because they're above it in a sense and doing their own thing. But they're completely fucking different things. And you have to shift your perspective to watch both of them and be into that kind of mode. This is a much slower emotional dive kind of show. I'm not saying, and it does,
it's like Umbrella Academy and Doom Patrol and The Boys,
and it has some Better Call Saul in it too, of like the way the dialogue and the dark interactions and the humanism of it all. I think that's what makes Invincible amazing. It does have some of the shock and awe, and The Boys has some of that pathos to it too. So I see the comparisons and why people compare them, but I think the easier comparison is Homelander and Omni-Man, but even that, it's different. Homelander's a psychopath. Omni-Man is doing a job. He's a soldier, and he actually does have a moral conscience. I don't know if Homelander has they
both have the same view of
humanity. Yes, they do, but
which is that they're like, listen, when you are Superman like that, right? You can either be Superman, which you have to be that all the time, because otherwise, if you waver even a little bit, you start to have the sense that Omni-Man and Homelander have, which is Homelander, like if you have Homelander's powers, humans, like you're a human. You don't think much when you fucking go kick over an anthill or step on a bunch of ants or crush a spider in your fucking house. You have no qualms about that shit whatsoever. So think about your house, the size of your house and the size of a fucking spider, right? Like, that's the world to a human. What's the fucking difference?
Yeah.
For Homelander, for Omni-Man, we're ants.
Talk about the episode.
We can't be much better than fucking ants,
so,
right?
So I think that, yeah.
There's that. And Omni-Man says, I love your mother, but
she's
really,
a pet.
She's more of a pet than anything.
I like the callback. I like the callback to that too in this episode, that we got the callback to that line. And everyone, if you're joining us right now, make sure you hit that like button. If you haven't already, hit that subscribe button. Join us all season for talking about Invincible. I'm going to post this in an Invincible Facebook group, and I'll probably get banned for sharing my show, but we'll try it. We'll see that.
Try it.
Joe's Vol, I'll turn him up. Thank you, John Haymaker. We're so used to nothing like that with DC or Marvel. Being fancy tonight, Phil the Issues guy. I went out and met somebody earlier today, so I was dressed up for that purposes, and I just didn't take it off. I had a date this afternoon. I had a coffee date this afternoon. Okay, so let's get back to this recap. We get back to the aftermath of Chicago devastation. We go off to the desert prison, and we see the Mahler twins getting fed. Again, stuff like this, I understand, Joe, if the season wasn't as fresh, the dialogue in this scene isn't going to mean dog shit to you. because they were referring back to how they escaped at the end of last season. And with this same guy, they knocked him out and they didn't kill him. And they're basically saying to him, hey, when we get out of here again, if you feed us well, we won't kill you again. We could have killed you. We could have ripped you apart.
Yeah, but we like you.
We like
obviously, because we didn't kill you.
Yes.
And you keep letting us escape.
Oh, I forgot to mention earlier at the beginning of the episode when we're dealing with Bizarro Land, Omni-Man, and Invincible, a portal shows up at one point in time, and Omni-Man's like, don't worry about that. And they go on to it. So the similar portal shows up in the Mauler's prison cells, and it is, I don't even know this character's name. What is it? Levy. Augustus Levy or whatever his name was. The twins climb through, and we get this whole thing with this guy that basically, to sum this all up, I could get into the dialogue. It's good dialogue with Lex Luthor and this dude, but basically he needs them to set up their machine that they used for cloning to take all the clones of him. He has like thousands of clones that he sent to, or millions of clones that he sent to all these different universes. No. And he wants to take their experiences and get them into his mind.
No, they weren't clones.
They're
just.
Oh, there were actually versions of the different versions of him
in the other universes.
But they don't have his powers.
And he says, but none of them have my power.
Yeah.
If there's infinite universes like that, he said, then there's another one with his power.
Yep.
Or that's even more powerful. Right? Or others that are less powerful.
You gotta
or
figure...
others that have that power that aren't sharing the fact with him that they have that power. Like, that's the thing about infinite fucking universes. Like, and that's one of the great things about Rick and Morty is you no matter what you think you understand about infinite universes,
it's more.
What you can't wrap your fucking little tiny scrawny fucking human mind around is that it's fucking infinite. There is no stop. There is no end to it. There is no stop to variations on it. It just keeps fucking going.
Right.
It's infinite. If you take infinite monkeys and put them in infinite typewriters,
Hamlet.
You know how long it takes for one of them to type the complete works of fucking Shakespeare verbatim? Done. Immediate.
Almost.
Sudden. As soon as they all sit down, one of them starts typing and doesn't stop until the fucking entire thing is done. It happens because it's infinite variations. It can't not happen. A fucking ape will come up with the exact fucking letter combinations to make Shakespeare. That's the thing about infinite. And that's what this character doesn't seem to understand, or Kirkman doesn't seem to understand, or someone doesn't seem to understand, because it can't be just one of you that has that fucking power, and there's infinite fucking universes, so there's someone with that power in almost every fucking universe, because it's fucking infinite. It's infinite. Like, that's
Joe, and I think that's the problem when people have done the infinite universe thing too much, because there is no end to it.
There is no end to it. There is no limit to it. It gets to the point, as silly as it fucking sounds, as you get in Rick and Morty, where everybody's a fucking Oreo cookie, where everybody's pickle fucking Rick. Like, that's the idea behind infinite. And like, they're the only ones. He's Royland and fucking and what's his name? They're the only fucking ones that have been able to grasp that concept and give it to everybody. It's one of the reasons why the time travel shit is up on the shelf. It's on the shelf, and that's like not just like a metaphor for we're not even going to fuck with time travel shit. We put it on the shelf because fuck time travel. We have infinity.
I feel like a Next Generation episode did it well too. The Worf one.
Parmesan fucking cheese. The only difference in this universe is they say Parmesan instead of Parmesan. That's it. We're going to bury the fucking bodies of our other dead fucking us in this universe and learn to say Parmesan.
There was a Simpsons one where Homer had like everything he wanted, but there was no donuts in his particular universe. Jackie C says, we're all Pickle Rick.
Right? Like, there's your rant, everybody. Sorry.
No, they're not. No, go. Okay, so anyways, so Cecil walks in and Mark's like, I'm in, and Cecil's like, dude, I'm watching you, and your head is spinning. You're not ready. You can't come in. You can't play the game. I don't trust your dad. I don't trust you. you need to chill and be a soldier before I'm going to welcome you in. Then we get Cecil going immediately back to headquarters. And I got to say this again, this goes to this acting thing, his voice acting thing on this show. You know who does the voice of Cecil? One of both of our favorites.
Oh yeah.
Walter fucking Gogan. And he's an amazing actor, and I don't think about him.
One of the best actors. Fucking.
He's so good. He's great.
Him and the guy from Raising Hope. I fucking love the
Garrett Dillahunt. Like my dream, Joe. My dream is the two of them doing a show together. With Justin Kirk from Weeds could be on it too. But
there's a couple other people that could be mixed in there, but for those two together would be something special for me as well.
I would agree. You can to me you add the guy who plays Trevor from Grand Theft Auto and one other actor, and you do a golden.
You could add like.
And you do a Golden Girls with the guys. You do the Golden Boys. And you do a show with all those dudes sitting around a coffee table eating cheesecake, and I'd watch it. I'm there.
And going on dates and talking about their exes.
I am fucking there for it, Joe. 100%.
And then you need one of the dudes has to be like a really, really old dude for Sophia.
But right? Gary Dillahunt would dress up old.
No. Just let Gary.
Sophia wasn't older. Estelle Getty was just as young. She dressed old.
I know she dressed up, but like let Garrett and let Walt be themselves, get a third person that can be themselves, and get a fourth person that can be themselves that can be old.
Okay, Dana Carvey. Have Dana Carvey dress old.
As the fucking lady.
As the church lady. Have Dana Carvey be a version of a church lady. I think we're going to do it. Okay, so Cecil comes in, and again, we get into another amazing voice actor Spock himself, Siler, Zach Quintos.
Who's he playing? He's playing the time jumper.
The voice of the robot.
Oh, the kid?
No, he doesn't play that's where it's different. The kid is played by somebody else, but when he's in the robot, it's Zachary Quinto. Could it be Satan? But
okay.
When he's in the robot, it's Zachary Quinto. So, but he's back. He disappeared at the end of last season when the kid became the kid.
I'm sorry to do this to you real quick.
Do you have to run?
No, we have to take a quick break.
Oh, no.
I poured a shot.
Uh-oh.
I can't drink it yet.
Oh, because no one donated anything?
Nobody's donated anything.
We need a super chat donation. Kelly Johnson. No.
Oh no, she already coughed up a little bit.
Kelly's a he. I'm gonna toast you.
Sorry, Kelly already coughed up a little bit. I shouldn't make any assumptions.
No, but we did miss one of Kelly. Kelly also.
I got that one too.
No, Kelly at the very beginning of the show became a channel member and offered a dime bag of support for us. So we need to toast it up to Kelly. There we go, Kelly. So are you enjoying the not Tito's vodka?
Steel 43.
It goes down easy. And if you read the package of Steel 43
times distilled.
Yeah, it's basically copies everything that Tito says. Could it be Satan?
All batches.
So
using pot stills. Ooh.
Oh, I like pot stills.
I like pot stills.
Yeah, we both like pot stills. Okay, so Zachary Quinto's back. Monster Girl and Zachary Quinto have a
San Antonio vodka.
Joe, in case you don't remember, Zachary Quinto and the Monster Girl, they have a little hinkiness.
They got a fling going. I remember that.
What happened last season was Zachary Quinto's character, the robot, manipulated the Mahler twins to make him a body so he could be a kid forever, so he could hook up with the Monster Girl who's stuck being a kid forever. So that
right, and it was like a plot that we were supposed to think he was turning heel,
but he wasn't.
He wasn't really turning heel.
Exactly. He was just being creepy. He was just creeping.
Yeah, he was just being creepy.
He was just creeping. It's okay, everybody. He's just creeping. That's it.
I want to be a real boy.
I want
okay,
a boy.
Pinocchio.
It's okay. You can creep. Creep away. Creep away, you creepy little son of a bitch. It's okay. Oh, I got a text message. Love the episode of Invincible. Looking forward to the reviews all season. I think one of us is. I don't know if Joe is, but I'm looking forward to it.
I'm looking forward to the reviews.
No, me too. I'm looking forward to being back here talking about a show. And if you have,
I no matter what I feel about this, I'll make you that guarantee right now. No matter what I feel about it, I'm just like to be doing this again.
Right. It's good to be doing it.
And we got to say, I'm sorry, Phil. I have been.
I've
been watching it.
You've been watching. Oh yeah, we got to get into it.
Confess.
I'm good.
I've been watching
Joe,
it.
we'll talk about this off air, but thanks to founding member of this channel, Gotti, I am now AMC'd up, and I'm about to catch up, and
nice.
we're gonna be going. We're gonna be talking about it. It's happening. Basically, my plan for that is when Rick and Michonne start,
or we need to come back
and do. We'll talk about this off air.
Talk about this season anyway. We probably, honestly, in all honesty, we shouldn't have stopped because this is The Walking Dead.
Right. I don't.
Fuck Maggie and fuck Negan because they're not original cast members. They are not season oneers.
Joe,
one of them.
I don't want to go too far down this road right now, but suffer to say, a Sunday coming to you very soon. Joe and I will be doing a Walking Dead podcast. So we'll leave it there for now. So Mahler twins are checking out the intentions of this guy. We get some techno babble about why they need him. So then we get a fight with Invincible. We get some more info about the fight with Omni-Man and Invincible. Most times that Mark joins him in this situation. And again, I ask you the question, Joe. You answered it in a scattered way. Would it be tough for you to turn down your dad if he turned out to be Omni-Man?
Like I said, it would depend on what age I was. If you're talking about right now.
No, I'm talking about 19-year-old Joe.
19-year-old
or 16-year-old you. 16-year-old.
Okay, because I'm going to say this: there's a big difference between 19-year-old me and 16-year-old me.
I know there is. I personally know that
difference between 19-year-old and 16-year-old me. 16-year-old me, I'm probably on board.
Yeah.
I'm probably like
you're Larry.
Myself. I'm jumping through the fucking.
You're Papa. You're Papa Larry's team boy,
dude. Like you gotta understand.
Joe's getting some stuff out back there.
Oh yeah.
He's messing with his set.
This was from Larry.
Larry's got all these Negan bats and stuff like that. And yes,
this was from Larry. This is a machete. This is from Larry. That's a blackjack. Like this is a man that worked in fucking Chinatown in the fucking late 60s.
Yeah, in the combat. Call it what it was. The combat zone.
Combat zone. In the early 60s. I mean, mid 60s through the 80s. Through early 80s.
The 80s, yeah. When I used to go to the combat zone in the 80s. So
as a bouncer, a club manager, and all this shit.
And again, as someone that went to the combat zone in the 80s a lot, in Revere Beach in the 80s, it wasn't anything to sneeze at. Okay, so let's.
I'd have been on board. I'd been the first one. Like I said, if I had even now the power to pop heads, like Senator fucking whatever her name is, Congressman whatever her name is, and the boys, there'd be all sorts of popped heads. There'd be trails of popped heads fucking everywhere. They'd be like, who's been in this fucking area? They'd already know it was me. I'd be popping heads left and right now at this point, right? But like, 16-year-old me is on board. 19-year-old me, at that point, I'm using fucking what? At least what? Half a sheet of acid a month, right? We're smoking what? Fucking between
ounce
the
a
three
day.
Of us, we're smoking almost a pound a month more,
something like that.
Like between the three of us, like what are we doing? Like I'm on a different level of where I was 16 to 19.
Yeah, we were in a different universe at that point in time,
like,
for sure.
I was feeling. I'm still look at. It lingered. There's still a hippie in me. Like
we went so.
And even my father now. He's been since before I was 16. He left that.
So
life
do you become this? So
19-year-old
you becomes the superhero. So you're that one Invincible. So we get more clone information. We go off eventually to Debbie with a jump scare with a knife, and it's her friend Olga from another episode that also lost her husband. She breaks it down. 20 years I was a pet. And this is just a really well played emotional scene. Again, it's slowed down. I get why. Again, it's, people that are go into the show waiting for the excitement or something. This is a grounded, emotional, real scene.
Moment, I was like, oh, I need to take this trash out before.
Right. No, I hear you. And then we get Cecil talking shit about the Guardians. They say the leadership has failed. And in comes the Immortal. He's sewed back together. We saw that at the end of last season. Rex with a bunch of his one-liners. I believe Rex is voiced by Jason Mantzoukas, but I'm not sure. Or someone could correct me if I'm wrong. I do recognize the voice. I could be wrong about who the voice is. And we get this other character, Bulletproof, who puts Rex in his place. Then Robot Rudy is demoted, and Monster Girl tries to comfort him, and he's like, nope, I suck. And we'll get more of that later in the season. We go off to Eve and Mark catching up. We don't get much of Eve in this episode, who is one of the most interesting characters. We do get Bizarro Land Eve with Mark at the beginning, but we get one little scene.
But she's very much still Eve, Adam Eve.
Right, she is. She's 100% still Adam Eve, and she's a constant through all generations. But I love the character of Adam Eve. I think she's played really well, voiced well. And in this scene, she basically is just Mark's conscience, the magical, mystical friend. And she's like,
prove
Cecil wrong.
How he was like, snap. Oh, so that's what you were doing.
Yeah,
that's what you were doing. Yeah, you were practicing so you didn't kill her. Like, he's snapping neck. Like, they're talking about snapping necks. Like, Invincible's been out there just breaking necks, trying to find the right spot that works every time so you can leave someone paralyzed and not kill them, which is what he does to Adam Eve so that he can go and visit and talk to her.
Talk to her so she can, and that's the hilarity of the Vulturemites, whatever the fuck they're called. I'm probably pronouncing it wrong.
Ants.
Pets. Yep. Yeah, they care. Joe, they care. They fucking care.
Very much like General Zod shows up and he's like, dude, these are ants. We could kill them all in 30 seconds. In fact, we're not even going to worry about that. We're just going to put the machine down because they can't even stop the fucking machine on their
exactly. Own. They're very cute. These human things are cute. Okay, so they're talking about what's going on. We see the twins setting up the shit, and the twins are egotistical. They're like, we're the best. We're awesome. And it makes so much sense being voiced by the voice of Lex Luthor. And we got 1,000 setups, and they explain the back.
I'm sorry. I'm in my own head here, and I'm even thinking about Superman now, and even Superman thinks of us like fucking pets.
He does. He absolutely does.
He like, go kick my dog. Go kick my come to my house and kick my dog. Watch what fucking happens to you, right? Come to Earth and kick one of Superman's fucking pets. Watch what happens to you.
No.
Right? Like, and even to the point where, like,
go to this fortress of solitude or whatever.
Fights amongst his pets. Like, stop, children, stop it. Bad boy, bad kitty.
I mean, there are some versions of Superman, like the Justice Lord storyline, that he went kind of Omni-Man.
Yeah. They always play with that a little bit, and they always bring in, like Bizarro, Superman, all that shit. But, like, yeah, I don't know. Sorry for the tangent there.
Oh no, please tangent away. Which actor plays? I forget his name. Let me do a quick. I think he does voices on Young Justice too. Lex Luthor voice Superman animated series. See, I can't talk and Google at the same time. Clancy Brown is his name. Clancy Brown, and he is amazing. One of the best. Clancy Brown, not Fry from Futurama. Futurama is another show that has
Clancy Fry's brother.
That has done the multiple universe thing really kind of funny. Thank you, Americus.
Futurama should not have ever been canceled. That should have been one of those shows that should have.
It's still great. It's still great. Have you been watching the new? Do you watch the new season at all?
What?
There's a new season on Hulu. It's still fucking good.
Of Futurama?
Yeah, they just had a new season this year.
Fuck me! This is the first I'm hearing about it. There's a few Hulu things that I have to catch up on. Like, I had Hulu for a while and I ditched it. I got to catch up on
Only Murders in the Building.
Only Murders in the Building. The Slave Chicks in Red. And a couple other series that they've started since.
Yeah, Futurama is kicking ass now too.
Jesus,
Clancy Brown, Miss Krabs. Okay, so Invincible breaks in and tries to explain. What about? Sorry. Invincible shows up with Cecil and goes, "I'm on board," and they give this man a headpiece. And we get some sick animation with the Mauler twins. It's kind of like a Frankenstein thing. Invincible breaks in, tries to explain it, and Cecil's like, I don't give a fuck. Take them down. And the Maulers challenge him to take him down. The portal guy steps in, and he opens the doors to all these multiple portals and brings in tons of different Mauler twins that thought they were special. And then it's like 20 Mauler twins or however many.
A whole shitload.
A whole shitload against Invincible. And it's a real fucking bloodbath.
In their typical multiverse, one of them's like mutated looking.
One of them's mechanical.
One of them's mechanical. And it's like they taste a little bit of what
Spider-Verse
the multiverse should be. Right, like because of the infinity behind it, like I was ranting.
Yeah, and that's what I like about the way Spider-Verse did it, and the way that the Ninja Turtles 1 did it. The Ninja Turtles 1, Turtles Forever, it shows you like random versions of the like random weird versions of the Turtles and all these kind of obscure situations.
The Spider-Man movie with all the Spider-Man and all the old villains
into the Spider-Man,
and all that.
Far Way Home,
dude. That ends up being. And because it ties in all of those fucking movies, all three Spider-Men, it even brings in with their post-credit scene the standalone fucking Venom and gives that to
Tom Hardy's Venom and shit.
Like the brilliance around all of that, like fuck everything that happened. Like as far as I'm concerned, like. This Marvel Universe shit starts with fucking Toby, right? It starts with
fucking
Tobey Maguire.
And Hugh Jackman. And then the X-Men. I think it starts with Spider-Man and X-Men.
But they haven't crossed that X-Men into it yet.
But those were the two first. But it's still Marvel. It's still fucking Marvel. What company made?
That's not the point.
What company created the X-Men?
I'm not arguing this with you, Phil. But I'm saying they haven't introduced any of the X-Men into any of that Marvel shit.
A little bit in WandaVision.
What?
Boner there. The Quicksilver.
How's he in the Marvel?
I don't know.
Which X-Men movie? I don't remember.
Let's finish this
episode.
A
little bit. Okay, I'll concede that maybe. All right. But here's the thing.
And they're coming in soon.
You could take out all the rest of that Marvel Universe shit. Iron Man, Captain America.
Americus beats us. I was just going to call you Tony. I'm sorry. Joe, Americus beat us. Blade and Spawn were actually first.
But as far as what?
Blade was the first Marvel movie, I believe. The Blade movies were first. If we're getting into like what the very first Marvel stuff, and then we can go earlier to get. But again, I don't want to talk too much about this. Let's get through this episode of Invincible, and we'll talk about this stuff at the end a little bit more. Invincible survived.
I'm not sure. I was about to say I'm pretty sure Spawn isn't Marvel.
No, Spawn isn't Marvel, but Blade is.
There's also Batman versus Spawn. And with Spawn and shit, so I was gonna say it's DC, but it's not DC either.
No, it's its own company. It's its own
Image or some shit.
Yeah,
or Dark Horse.
And I mean, if we're talking about early superhero stuff,
Valiant.
The Spawn HBO series was one of the first superhero things I really got way into. The animated series on HBO.
That's very much the Batman animated. It's animated the same
way. And I
way
think all of that stuff influences where we're at with something like Invincible, where we're in a situation where we're here talking about a show like Invincible. Spawn is Image Comics. I believe
Image was a spin-off from it was like a sub DC.
And what is Invincible?
Or that DC eventually bought Image, or Image was one of the artists from DC that split and started Image, and then they bought it, or some shit. And same thing with Valiant. I don't remember. I remember.
Oh, and for whatever.
I got an expert actually in the other room.
Joe, Invincible is actually also Image Comics. So
okay.
And Professor X is in the alternate universe showed in Doctor Strange. The Walking Dead is Image Comics. Robert Kirkman, all of that is
Image Comics.
Image Comics. X-Men characters are in Doctor Strange. You're right, Jay. Okay, so the portal guys, like, let's open all the
old stuff too. This isn't like written material.
So the portal guy brings in all the different versions of the Mauler twins. Invincible somehow survives the fight, but he's getting his ass kicked. He's about to die.
There he is.
He's about to die, and they warn him if he takes off the machine, some bad shit will happen. But he takes off the machine because he doesn't want the good Invincible to die, and it causes this big fucked up shit, and everything blows up. The good guys show up, and Invincible is feeling sad about what happened, but Rex is like, all that matters, you didn't do this, the Maulers did this. You stopped them pretty spectacularly. Mark is sad, and the Immortal watches in an untrusting way, and I said in my notes before it happened, he's gonna talk to Mark at some point. He gets some love from Mom, who's like, are you okay? She passed out drunk, she hasn't eaten yet, and Mark is gonna make dinner, and they both get him and his girlfriend Amber, who I forgot to mention Amber earlier, they get their college acceptance letters, and they're all happy, yippity yippity. So then we go, we knew this was coming, Immortal's there, and he's like, Mark, I don't trust you, I'll be fucking watching you. So then we get one of the more, as the end of our episode, as Joe was saying, the little cliche thing that happens here. Freddy puts his glove up, one of the Maulers is alive, and he climbs over because we meet, I guess, our villain of the next episode, some sort of mental thing of the portal guy who's sucked in all the Ultimate Universe brains, and he's like, I need to kill him, I need to kill him, I need to kill him. And they finally do the joke. They hinted at the joke a couple times in the episode. They thought you were gonna get the title card, the Invincible title card, but the character actually said the word Invincible, which never.
No, he didn't. It title carded all that.
No, but it happened several times earlier in the episode where someone actually said Invincible, but then here at the end they finally.
Oh, right, because remember in the billboard, even him, he goes, because remember everybody, I'm Invincible. And he says it instead of getting the
and then they finally put the thing up, and that's the end of our episodes. The Maulers are walking away, and they're like,
because usually it's an intro, not a final.
And then we get our after credits. One of the Maulers is still alive, of course, looking for his brother. He finds the Dimension guy who turned into a mutant. He's like, I killed millions of people. He's killed millions of people. I gotta get blah blah blah. That's what we said. Okay, so that's the end of our episode. And the first episode of Invincible is done. And I'm excited for these toasted up, Joe. I'm excited for these 3 more episodes. I wish they were all 8 in a row. I don't like that they're split 4 and 4. I think that sucks, Joe.
Yes.
Spawn was a movie as far as the reasons the revival for Spawn isn't Marvel. I think the best version of Spawn, a lot of people do like the movie. I do like the movie, but I like that HBO animated series a lot better. We're going to break this down. If anyone wants to talk about Invincible, we're going to talk about anything right now. Ask us anything.
Movies, what was first? What was first movies? Superman.
Superman was
Superman 1, 2, and 3, and Superman Returns.
I think somewhere in between.
And how about all the fucking Batman movies from the 90s?
Or how about all the Spider-Man and Incredible Hulk stuff on television?
Series.
Yeah, the Daredevil one and all
Greatest American Hero.
Yep, all that sort of stuff. Everybody, for a little while longer, I know Joe needs to go, but
Bionic Man was fucking Iron Man before Iron Man was.
15, 20 minutes, we're going to stay on here at the end and ask us anything. If you have any questions, any category, push us in any direction. I'm going to have to let Joe go eventually because he's got to go talk to the lovely Crow. But we got about 15, 20 minutes here. So let's get into if anyone has any questions. I used to collect Spawn characters, Spawn comics. Joe, I think I know the answer to this question, and I'm pretty sure it's the Flash. But out of all comic characters, who's the one that you like the most? It's the Flash, right? You're a Flash guy. Did you see the Flash movie, the most recent one, the Flashpoint movie?
The Flash.
The Flash. Did you enjoy the Flash movie?
Honestly.
And have you ever watched the
yes
the CW series?
I watched the first season and then quit. I watched the original series, and none of them have been done right. That's all I gotta say. Even this one, did I gotta say, as far as like,
No, it could have
you
been
know,
better. It could have been better. It's not
yeah,
horrible, but it could have been better. And
like literally, there's. I know they call him the Flash, and this, and like he's supposed to lead. There's supposed to be a flash or whatever, a streak or whatever, like kinda a lightning bolt almost, but in they always do that in the shows and in the movies. And I'm sorry, but they do it wrong, and it's done wrong in the same aspect that phasers and laser fights in space have been done wrong across everything with the exception of Bab 5. And I'm going to say this because like when you turn on a fucking laser, a laser pointer, it you don't see it move across a screen or a distance, right? You press the fucking button, and there's instantly a beam of light that goes on for absolutely fucking ever because that's how light works, right?
Joe.
Like when you turn on a light in the room, you don't see the light emanate from the light bulb to the wall. The light just hits the fucking whole room all at once, everything illuminated. That's what the Flash is. That's how fucking quick he moves. There's no real Flash. Maybe when he starts moving, you might hear a sonic fucking boom.
I feel like the X-Men movies did
flat, but like line or street. Like that's how quick this fucker moves.
I feel like the X-Men movie Days of Future Past did it better with Quicksilver.
With Quicksilver, correct. Did it correctly.
Yeah, it actually.
Because you don't see. And like for that matter, I think Over the Hedge with the fucking squirrel drinking all the fucking caffeine, fucking Futurama with Fry drinking all the fucking caffeine when the
Futurama is so goddamn good.
And he takes everybody out of that fucking building. Everything fucking stops around him because that's how fucking fast he's moving.
Futurama is so goddamn good.
There's no streak. Nobody's gonna see nothing. They'll see a flash, Joe, anything, because everything took place in a flash, and then he's standing back next to you like nothing ever fucking happened.
Joe, pour yourself another shot because we have another double super chat from Kelly Johnson who asks us a question here. Phil, do you think the Batman animated series reboot is doomed without Kevin Conroy's involvement? I do think it hurts with the fact that Kevin Conroy, and with Kevin Conroy, you're also going to lose Mark Hamill. Mark Hamill said he won't do the Joker again without Kevin Conroy. So I do think you missed something because it's not just Bruce Timm and that animated company that is great about that. It's also the voice acting that works so well. I think it's going to hurt them in the sense of people coming out to say it, but I don't think the quality necessarily. I think they still will make good quality animation. So yeah, I do think it does suck. I wish, Kevin Conroy rests in peace, and he is Batman to me, and it's hard to hear other people do his voice. But there are other people that have done it. Bruce Greenwood, I believe, does it pretty well, who did it in one of the Batman video games that Kevin Conroy didn't do it when the Arkham games.
I mean, he's always going to be Batman for you. You're telling me Michael Keaton's not Batman for you? Honestly, you're telling me Adam West isn't Batman for you?
No, both
of them, right?
Joe, they're all Batman to me. But if I make
he's one of the
Thank
Batman.
you, Greg Brady, with your exact words, Joe. Fine. I'll say it in a different fucking way to make really, Sally Joe over here happy.
Even the English guy.
My favorite of all. Shut up for a second. Well. My favorite of all the Batman is Kevin Conroy. Is that better?
Dude, we're leaving out like the.
Who's your favorite?
What about Affleck?
Do you have? No, he's good. He has his moments too. The only bad Batman is a Clooney Batman. I think everyone else did him pretty well.
Kilmer's was sucked too.
Kilmer's pretty bad too. That's the low. But do you have a favorite of all said Batman?
Yeah.
Who's your favorite of all said Batman?
P. Diddy.
Do you want this sugar cookie? No, but who is your favorite between? let, me, let me
You
not.
didn't see the fucking shit he just did with Batman?
No, I didn't. I didn't.
P Diddy.
Out of
He's
Kevin,
also my favorite Joker.
out of Kevin Conroy, Michael Keaton, Christian Bale,
Robert Pattinson.
Robert
He was
Pattinson.
John Haymaker.
Yeah.
Oh, someone went there. I forgot all. He's the only one I forgot about.
Oh, that movie's good. You didn't like that movie?
I haven't seen it. I will never see it.
Oh, it's pretty good. It's dark.
Okay, sure.
Why won't you ever watch it? Because of Twilight? Because of fucking Twilight? Is that why?
Would I? What's wrong with Twilight?
So
I've
why?
never seen any of the Twilight.
So why wouldn't you watch ever the new Batman movie? Because Robert Pattinson's in it.
Because Ben Affleck didn't get a fair shake.
Oh, so you're standing for
Affleck forever, baby.
You're standing for Affleck. That's where you're going with this.
Forever.
Oh my god.
I am an Affleck. He is my Batman.
Oh god.
Fuck all the rest.
You know that Joe's always right. This is a Joe's
I'm tripling down on the chin.
Oh my goodness.
No, I don't know. No, I don't know. I'll see Pat. You got the vodkas in me.
Yeah, no, that's fine.
I'm Steel 43 right now. I just haven't seen it yet. I'll see it eventually. Affleck isn't my Batman. I think I love all. I don't hate any of them.
But who's your favorite? Who would be your favorite? Would it be the Batfleck?
No, because unfortunately, I hate Batman versus Superman. I think the whole concept is fucking stupid. I think the whole concept is absolutely.
I think it works in the animated movie World's Finest, where Batman's just able to flip him once or twice because he has some kryptonite in his pocket. It doesn't necessarily.
I can stand 1,000 miles from you and shoot you with my laser beam eyes.
Joe, keep going.
You decide you have kryptonite. Okay, well, I'm going to just go fly outside the planet, fly around it a whole bunch of times, reverse time, come back, and kill you before you go get the kryptonite and try to come kill me. Like, there's so many things Superman has done that is actually, like, canon and not canon of what Superman can and can't do. Like, as soon as he feels the kryptonite, as soon as he feels it, I want Phil to hear this, because this is one of the things about him I don't think I even said before. But as soon as he feels it, as soon as it, like, manifests in front of him, just reverse time. You reverse time, and then you come and kill Batman.
Oh,
boom, done.
Fuck!
Like the whole concept. Like, oh no, he flipped me. He's got kryptonite in his pocket. I'm gonna fly into space. I'm gonna reverse the spin of the planet. Reverse time, because we saw that's how that works. Right, Phil? Right, Phil? We saw that
in Superman.
That's how that works. Okay.
In Superman.
So once he does that, then he comes back and he kills Batman before he gets his fucking kryptonite. How about that? How about that?
My head
He just sits in fucking space and shoots him with his laser balls, right? From fucking space. I felt kryptonite on him. I'm gonna fly away into space where I can absorb all of the sun's radiation and just blow Gotham off the map because Batman's there. Like, Batman versus Superman is fucking stupid. The whole concept is stupid. The fact that they made a movie out of it is fucking stupid. Like, there's no reason that Batman should ever be like, oh no, this guy who's never done anything but good. Kind of.
But he's an alien. He's an alien.
Yep. So Batman's a fucking racist.
He's an alien racist.
That's what, there's the human race, and then there are alien races. So Batman's a racist. He's a true racist. He's all about humans and not about aliens.
I broke my headphones.
So he's a racist. Because it's the human race. That's it.
Joe, because of my quest for alcohol, I broke my headphones.
Yeah, you suck.
Yeah, there you go.
I'm too drunk, Phil. I'm too drunk right now. I'm the drunk one, and you're the fucking breaking your headset.
No. I'm getting there. I broke my fucking headphones. It's pretty bad. Just to fill up my drink. Oh my god. I have an extra set, but I don't know where they are at the moment. So He lives in the Snyderverse forever. Check your PayPal coming in. Oh, no, I already did. We got a message from our looking forward to the... Oh. Sorry. I was about to read a message that Nick just sent me. That's not appropriate. So...
Hi, Nick. I know he's not watching.
No, he's definitely not watching. Okay, so I'm so on tilt because of my headphones right now. I'm like, hey, shanana. There we go. That's better. I just have to keep my head up there. But Joe, thank you so much for joining us tonight. We'll be back next week, same basic time.
Same bat time. Do it.
Same bat time, same bat channel.
Is it airing again at the same time?
Yeah, so we'll be on probably around 9:30, 10 o'clock every Thursday evening for the next 3 weeks after this, talking about Invincible Season 2. And we're going to pop on one of these Sundays. I need to catch up on...
I got to get home from work.
Oh, yeah.
A couple minutes.
Okay, so yeah, 10 o'clock, 10:30 works. So... Joe and I coming up on one of these Sundays, will be doing a Walking Dead catch-up cast where we'll be talking about the Maggie. We'll be
smearing ketchup all over our naked bodies.
And talking about Maggie. Talking about Maggie and Negan. And
no, I didn't watch that shit.
Oh, you didn't watch that one? I'm
never going to watch that shit.
We'll be talking about
as far as I'm concerned,
the Daryl series.
If Maggie and Negan don't meet up with Carol, Daryl, I'll even take, even though she didn't show up till the end of season 2, 3, the little one there, the little girl that was born from Rick.
Oh yeah.
Right. Rick, Carol, or Daryl, essentially that. Unless those two meet up with those three, I have no interest in them. As far as I'm concerned, I was saying this to Katie the other day when I texted you, I'm watching it.
But you're feeling the Daryl.
First one came out. No. That's not what it was. What it was I felt like this. I felt like even though he abandoned Carol back wherever, I felt like that is still The Walking Dead, right? He's not necessarily the main star of, but he is the longest running character. He's been in it since season 1. And really, what's the difference? So basically they were like, all right, we understand everybody on the show sucks. So we got to get Daryl away from everybody else. And then we can bring back Rick and Michonne, who was also a fan favorite, but enough people hated everybody else. And Maggie, well, we realized she really is a bad actress and she really sucks. And we wrote her horribly on this show. And we made her have horrible fucking decisions. And we moved her character in fucking horrible fucking ways that we really can't repair any of it. We can't justify any of the fucking decisions.
So we'll put her with Negan.
And Negan has enough people that fucking hate him and enough people that love him that maybe they can make something work. But really, that's not really going to last that long because Maggie really fucking sucks, as evidenced by the show she left The Walking Dead to go do because she also knew, like Rick knew, like everybody else kind of started feeling it coming, that The Walking Dead was and Michonne knew, a real fucking downslope. So they all got out. Unfortunately, when Maggie got out, everybody realized, oh, if it weren't for the blood and guts and everybody else, like Maggie, like the Cohen is,
meh.
And as much as I love, what's his name there? The actor that plays Negan, I can't think of his name.
Jeffrey Dean Morgan.
Jeffrey Dean Morgan. As much as I love him as an actor, he doesn't really stray much from what Jeffrey Dean Morgan does. And the Negan character had enough awfulness around him that I just didn't, I didn't care for like the first 7 hours of him on screen.
And it was tough.
Not 7 hours of the show, but his first 7 hours of scenes
and it was
were
tough
all exactly the same.
And it was tough for you to ever come back from that.
Right. And and so I'm all set with that show. So if they come back into Maggie and if Maggie and Negan come back into Rick's show or come back into Daryl's show, then they'll get my viewership again. But right now, as far as I'm concerned, The Walking Dead didn't end. They just tweaked the title a little and continued on with Daryl. The other one that they tweaked is a spin-off. That's Megan and Negan show. That's a spin-off. The fucking World Beyond's a spin-off. The fucking Fear is a spin-off. Like, all that shit's spin-off. Because Maggie, not an original, long-running character, not an original character. Negan, medium-running character, not an original character. So as far as I'm concerned, that's a spin-off. The Daryl thing,
the Daryl and the Rick
one
is the show.
Be considered The Walking Dead because he was season 1 on. He has been in it since the fucking start. Basically, Carol has too. So if Carol had gone with,
I mean,
Daryl,
she was originally going to be on that series, yeah.
Right, and she is. She like, for what it's worth, I've been watching it, and she has at least had voice. And now at the end of the break,
did they mention her at all?
You know, we see her.
Oh, wait.
Dude, that's what I'm talking about.
She's actually on the show?
There's dude, I'm telling you, it's still The Walking Dead. They just knew that they had fucked it up. They foobarred The Walking Dead, and they knew that.
Ah, much better.
That's why they were separating Carol and Daryl from all the rest of the fucking nonsense. Yeah, they left the kids behind because you know what? The kids were fucking nonsense too. Like I said, those other
Muppet
three
babies.
Like the other two, Rick and Michonne left. Rick is an original character. He comes back at some point, or he has his movies. I'll watch that because, as far as I'm concerned, that's part of that original shit, right?
Like, I mean, when for me, it's all about the Rick series coming back. Like, to me, that's going to be the closest to feeling like The Walking Dead to me.
See, as far as I'm concerned, as long as it was anybody from season 1.
I
know Morgan. I don't know if Morgan died on Fear the Walking Dead. I never got.
I don't think so. I think he's still.
But if Morgan was still alive and is still on The Walking Dead, I could kind of justify watching that too as being part of, because of the season 1 aspect of him showing up in episode. But I feel like he's not.
Muppet Babies is great.
They reintroduced him again, and then he left again. So he's not really something. But Daryl was the whole time. Carol, whole time. Everybody else has been missing for seasons, or this and that, or not around for the first half of the show, or left for a couple seasons, or wasn't around for the first season and left for other seasons because they wanted to leave altogether. So as far as I'm concerned, it's still The Walking Dead, and I made that commitment not just to myself, but to everybody else
to finish.
I am still watching the Daryl series. That is how I justify it. That is how I rationalize it. That is how
we need to
pleasure my
we
shit.
need to podcast about it then.
All right?
So we need to talk about it.
Believe me, if we podcast about it, you're going to hear a whole shitload of how it is still really fucking bad.
But you're watching it. You can't help yourself.
Really fucking
you
bad.
Can't help yourself.
And I can't help myself. I'm still watching it. Every step of the way, I'm like, what the fuck did you do? Why didn't you?
So you've heard it. You hear it here. We're going to be recapping Daryl season 2 live as they air.
Yep. And if it makes it. Because I'm telling you, whatever, I don't know what the critics.
I think it's going to make it. I think you're going to see it.
I think you will too.
Oh my goodness!
I think you will too, especially because the way they left it. The last episode I saw, I don't think they had one for the last week or two. But the last episode that happened, fucking Carol, dude, Carol came fucking out. So. You want a little spoiler, Phil? You want a little spoiler action?
No, we'll talk about that.
We'll talk surrounding the Carol thing. Just surrounding the Carol thing.
Okay.
And a little bit of the start. So Daryl basically is on a road trip, and he's up in Maine, and he gets shanghaied in Maine, that's how he's in fucking Europe. Forget everything else. At some point, he gets on the radio. He finds a radio and finds the right channel to call on the shortwave radio. And we hear a very familiar voice on the other end, and that's Carol. Now, a whole bunch more shit happens, more episodes go by, and then for like the mid-season teaser, we're back in Maine. And that voice, yes, it didn't just sound like her, it was her. And she shows up in that area in Maine where Daryl gets shanghaied, and she's like, "Where's my fucking boy?"
Yeah, she comes trying to
Hey,
save
Carol,
the day.
we know from fucking what's the railroad tracks there in Georgia. We know Carol don't fuck around from train A, B, C, or whatever.
Oh, Terminus.
It's from Terminus. We know from Terminus Carol don't fuck around. And when she's done, she don't even have to shower. She's just gonna be clean.
Look at the flowers, Joe. Look at the fucking flowers. Oh my goodness. I can't wait to get back into The Walking Dead. It's very weird to have earbuds on. I'm like, I don't have headphones on. It looks weird. You can actually...
How you doing, Jay?
Great to
I
see
saw you sneak in there a little bit earlier. I don't know when you got into the cast, but there's a little message for you at the beginning about Young Justice there. So
yes. Okay. One more drink, and we're going to let Joe go here. Everyone, thank you so much for joining us tonight on this Invincible cast. We will be back next Thursday evening at around 10:30 p.m. and talking about the next episode of Invincible and many other things, of course. So make sure you join us. I will also try to be on here some other time this week for some sort of babble fest, and Joe and I will catch up with The Walking Dead at some point soon after I catch up on this Daryl season. Thanks to the fabulous Gotti, I have logged
Jackie,
in.
this Steel 43 is like super glue. Trust me.
It's bad Tito's. It's very bad Tito's. When's the Young Justice stream? We need the Young Justice stream. When Joe finally finishes it.
No. So I just I challenge people to give me a show that's actually fucking good that I can get into, that I don't have to fucking start at season 2 or 3. Fucking rewind it and watch it.
Absolutely. Now, there are many shows that are good, Joe. I could come up with a couple of shows for you to watch.
What that I haven't already seen that I'm gonna think is actually fucking good, Phil? You do have good suggestions.
Did you watch Beef?
What? No, I haven't yet because I don't have. Is that on Hulu or Fox?
I think it's Netflix.
Hulu? No, Beef. Oh, with Glenn.
Glenn.
I did not watch Beef. I'm talking about TV.
It's TV.
That's streaming.
Oh, you mean like a show that you can watch?
I'm talking about like a weekly show, a TV show. Like, there's more than just streaming out there. Because streaming, you binge, and that's done. That's a movie. To me, that's a 10-hour movie film. That's not a.
So you want like a weekly series?
Yeah, like this Invincible. It's coming out once a week. The Boys, they'll drop 3 and then once a week. I fucking Apple shit. That shit comes out once a week. That has a lot of
Apples is great.
Physical was fucking awesome. Shrinking was fucking
Shrinking,
awesome.
yeah,
Shrinking. Lasso was fucking awesome. Invasion season 1 was okay. Season 2 just fucking dies. Apple has had a lot of.
Apple has a lot of success. It's fucking the show with Ben Affleck show.
But I need something to look for. The Ben Affleck.
Not Ben Affleck show. Ben Stiller show.
There's a few Ben Stiller producers.
Severance.
Yes. Fucking great. I'm waiting for season 2 of that. There's so what I mean is I want TV that I can watch, that I can look forward to another episode that comes out once a week, that Phil and I can sit down afterwards.
You just want more shows.
Good TV.
You want the shows to be out now, but there are shows you like.
There are shows I like, and as far as I'm concerned, we could do on a couple. Physical's over, right? Ted Lasso's over. I would have done both those shows. Dude, you still haven't watched Ted Lasso.
I still haven't watched Ted Lasso.
Like, fuck, if it's not brilliant.
I
dude.
would I would do
almost every minute of that.
I
show,
would do Shrinking.
I loved, and
I would do
fan of
Shrinking
those,
season
like
2.
a lot of those.
Even though it wouldn't be popular, I do Shrinking season 2.
I do Shrinking season 2 too, and I would love to do that other show, that Hulu show you mentioned too. Twice now.
Only Murders.
Yes, Only Murders in the Building. Season 1, I really fucking like that.
Yeah.
But I don't have the access to it at the moment, so
we'll figure that shit out. Joe,
there's a lot of but Keith, dude, I got Ted Lasso socks over there, dude. That's how much that show is fucking awesome.
See, there
I
are
even bought my boss a set of Ted Lasso socks.
See, there are good shows.
Like Ted Lasso was fucking unbelievably good. Dude, and that dude, what's her name? Keely. Keely.
Oh my goodness. Everyone, thank you so much. We will be back next week.
The owner of the show, the owner of the team too. Bombshell. Both of them.
Now you're gonna get me having to go watch Ted Lasso now.
Oh, dude, Ted Lasso is really fucking funny. Really good melding. I could talk about Ted Lasso really for hours. Really good melding of British humor and American humor. The guy that plays Ted Lasso, I should know his name off the top of my head. I can't think of it at the moment. Is
Jason?
It's Jason Sudeikis. It's almost like he's on another level with the character he's playing. It's very much a performance you've seen in his acting and comedy in the past, in like We Were the Millers and stuff like that.
No, and I can also see throughout the whole series, we have to start to truly give credit to Bill Lawrence for the genius that he is to create a show like this and Scrubs, and you can feel that same whimsy. So I've watched a couple of episodes of Ted Lasso, and I can tell it's made by the same person.
I'm gonna clue you in on a little thing right now. So, what Scrubs has that Ted Lasso does not have, right?
But they both have something similar.
Yes, right. And I'm about to get to that. Is the darkness, is the sadness,
because it's in the hospital.
Because of the hospital, because of the life lesson shit. What he does with Ted Lasso is it doesn't stop. Even when every moment you think some shit's about to turn heel, someone's about to like break bad, or like it's always good and uplifting. It always turns into this like moment of feel good, and it like almost doesn't turn away from that. Like you can see it going there, and you can see the trope unfolding in front of your fucking eyes, Phil. Like it's you're watching. You're like, this is Major League. Watch, you'll tell me. The first few episodes, I was watching Major League Soccer version, but it's not, because there's never a moment where you don't feel hope, where you don't feel really happy, where you don't feel like the moment you feel like shit's about to turn sour, you get sweet ass orange juice in your mouth. Like you don't, and it leaves you, even in those kind of sad moments, feeling fucking happy. There's no lack of happiness in this fucking show. It just, from start to finish, fucking lemon biscuits, man. Fucking lemon biscuits. All up like.
Want to send
Give me some more. Give me some more fucking lemon biscuits, motherfucker. Good.
Want to send some love.
Recipes.
Let's send some love to our buddy Muhammad out from Libya, who is 420ing high as a motherfucker. Lots of love to you, Muhammad. Thank you for checking it out.
It makes me want to watch soccer, Phil. Me.
I was talking about this earlier. I like so many sports in movies, in documentaries that I don't necessarily watch.
This is your ladybugs, dude. This shit is fucking good, man. It made me like literally. I want to go watch some soccer. Maybe there's more there that I haven't understood yet. because like
It's like watching
Ted Lasso,
Slapshot.
motherfucker.
It's like watching
Dude,
Slapshot.
I'm
You're like, I'm
telling
gonna
you,
watch hockey.
Beardy's fucking awesome. Fuck. He's awesome. That like character after character, heartwarming.
Oh my goodness,
after
Joe.
Heartwarm. Fucking
Let's see if we can do this.
live call.
I don't know if we can do it.
Yes, we can.
It's like watching Slapshot.
Whoa, Jay, turn off your radio. Turn off your radio. Can you hear us?
You've been waiting your whole fucking life to say that, Phil.
Can you
Turn
hear
down
us?
your radio.
I didn't expect. And by the way, it's the computer, not the radio.
I know. I just wanted to say fucking radio. Give me a break, Jay. I wanted to say fucking radio.
I didn't expect you guys to answer, but Batman is not racist about Superman. Batman does that to any and every single person powerful enough to be a member of the Justice League, which is why he created a contingency plan for every single member, including himself. If you're powerful enough to be in the Justice League, you can be mind controlled into trying to control the world, or blow up the world, or like any kind of bunch of other things that would be catastrophic in nature. So Batman prepares for every single thing that could ever happen, including the Justice League and all the superheroes being taken over by the bad guys, or just having a change of heart for some reason.
Okay, that can't happen to Batman.
Huh?
That can't happen to Batman.
He made a contingency plan for himself too. It's not that he stepped out of himself. He said he made a contingency plan for himself, which was the Justice League.
Joe, do you have a response?
I couldn't understand something for himself.
Batman didn't exclude himself in that.
I'm not under the static or something.
Sorry.
Something for himself before something for himself. Justice League.
He didn't exclude himself. The Justice League is his contingency plan. If Batman goes out of line, the Justice League is there to stop him.
To stop him. Okay.
Yeah, and Batman's has contingency plans for all of them.
I was getting a little facetious.
You? Never. Never.
You got it. Listen. I am still a Batman fan.
One of the most powerful beings in like the universe. Unless you look at like Darkseid and other people that came from Krypton.
Correct.
Or Brainiac, there is no one more powerful than Superman in that universe.
Correct. I'm gonna turn back time and kill Batman because he pulled out some fucking kryptonite on my ass. I'm gonna go up to space and shoot him with my laser beam.
I feel like Batman always has prepared for whatever it is you do.
But here's the thing.
1 second, Jay.
Anything you did, including going back in time.
Correct. Here's the thing. But what you forget is Superman is also super intelligent too. He's able to think much better than Batman because he's super human intelligence, past metahuman, superhuman.
Jay?
Batman's way smarter when it comes to being a tactician, being your opponent, and being someone that is
How? Superman's never lost.
In terms of being a battle tacticianer, Batman dwarfs Superman's intelligence.
Okay. Here's the thing.
He dwarfs
One at a time.
Superman doesn't need to tactician anything. He's fucking Superman. He flies in, he takes whatever comes at him because nothing matters, and he kills everybody around because he's Superman. He doesn't need to have a plan. He doesn't need to think it out. He just flies in, and everybody's a fucking ant. Do you have a battle plan when you go step on an anthill? I don't. I just walk in and I go, ants, die, motherfuckers. You're ants, and I'm Super Joe.
Batman can also put his powers in him and put Superman's powers in himself if he wanted to. There are a shitload of ways that Batman can deal with Superman, and your reliance on his superpowers is by
So why
Batman
doesn't he have superpowers? If Batman could put superpowers into himself, why doesn't he have them?
For one, you can get rid of them in like 3 different ways that I can think off the top of my head. You can reverse his powers and give them to Batman, which has been done, I believe, in a bunch of other comics. There's ways to take away his powers with red sunlight, and there's other things you can do to hurt Batman, to hurt Superman, light magic. To hurt Superman, light magic. There's a bunch of things you can do to hurt Superman. Superman is not invincible when you really,
Yes, he is.
really break
Yes,
down
he is. Yes,
the
he
ways
is.
you can
Nobody's
beat
killed
him.
him. Nobody's
And
killed
Batman
him.
knows them all.
He's only kind of died. He's never really died. He's always there. He is invincible.
Now,
Nobody's killed him.
Jackie C adds, you really should have a better plan when dealing with ants. Those things are telepathic.
No, that's true. They are fucking telepathic.
And Batman's mortal. Batman is the most mortal person in the Justice League. And most of the time, Batman is like, hey, I can whip all of y'all. There is a reason
the
why
time,
I'm
yes,
in here.
but not
okay?
with
It is
Superman.
to keep all of y'all in check, and that
Hey.
includes Superman.
Kelly,
Hey,
that's the
I'll say
point.
this.
That's the
There
point, Kelly.
might be a lot that there might be a lot that Batman can do. And yes, they did come out and say that part of Batman, it's not just being rich. Batman is a metahuman. He is. He has strength beyond regular. He has intelligence.
No, he's just like the
regular,
ultimate human situation.
And he's a metahuman. They came out and said
That's
at some
bullshit.
point.
That's bullshit.
No.
I hate that.
I don't hate that because it makes sense. It does make sense. He does have more. Look at the shit he does, dude. It does make sense. He has more strength.
I'll just retcon it in like the next month or two anyway. So I don't buy that bullshit.
Joe, poor shot. We have another super chat. I haven't had an argument like this in 30 years. I'm loving this.
They in the comics and the writers and shit have come out and said he's metahuman. So he's not just a regular human, right? But he does have more ability than regular. So that's not like that does put him on extra level. But he's not Superman. That's just it. He's just not.
Superman's lifespan goes from like now to like 1,000 years
Thank
from
you,
now
Kelly.
or something. So Superman's pretty much immortal. Batman's still mortal, and he still can kick every single member of the Justice League asses, including Superman, and Superman knows it. Anytime
No.
and has time
Superman
to
knows
actually
he can
prepare
kick some
for a
ass.
fight, Batman
Superman
wins.
knows that.
If Batman doesn't fight Superman in their first meeting, Superman can't win the fight anymore. That's it. It's done.
No.
Joe, do you have a response? 1 second, Jay. Joe, go.
Listen. Superman, the difference between Batman and Superman is this. Batman had the intent on putting Superman down. Right?
Are you talking about in Batman versus Superman?
In any of the incarnations of Batman v Superman, Batman has the intent.
Both of them are fighting at their. Both of them know what they're doing. Batman's just always better prepared. Don't give me this. Superman's not trying. No.
I'm not saying he's not trying to live, and he's not trying to stop Batman.
You're just talking about in the Batman the Dark Knight Rises or Returns or whatever.
Be the one of you. Let me finish.
Jay, let's let Joe finish.
And Jay came closer than you to finishing my statement with and don't tell me he's not trying. That's not exactly what I'm saying.
Joe.
I'm saying Batman has the intent of putting Superman down, and that is never Superman's intent. His intent is only to stop him, which he succeeds in doing. And he stops Batman from killing him. And he tells Batman, what the fuck, dude?
You'll get your chance, Jay. 1 second. Jay, go.
That is Superman's exact intent, is what I'm actually saying. It is Superman's exact intent to put Batman down, and it's Batman's intent to put Superman down. The only other movie made it that
it's
Batman
never Superman's intent to kill anyone, ever. It's a morally adverse
1 second,
to his character. It's morally adverse to his character to kill anything. He does not. He cannot. It makes him
1
sick.
second, Jay.
He will not do it. Unlike
I'll
Batman,
let you go.
who has revenge and darkness and the ability to kill and the want and the drive to kill people who are bad. That's one of the things that makes Batman a great character.
Jay, go.
God damn, they fought in Red Sun with Superman as an evil lord that goes to Russia. Batman still kicked his ass.
When Superman was an evil lord who went to Russia?
Did you ever watch the movie Red Sun? Superman is trying to put them all down. He's trying to put Batman and them down. Batman beats the fuck out of them.
Yeah, and in the Dark Knight Returns, he also beats the fuck out of Superman.
And then what happens? Superman. He killed Superman in all of these things.
Close.
Yes,
Close.
but Superman is also trying to stop Batman as well. So don't give me this bullshit about Batman, about Superman's not trying to do the same thing. You're wrong there.
So all I can say to that is that when Superman is actually Superman, not when he's bad Superman.
Because Batman knows how to beat him. Okay, it does not matter. Superman's powers can be taken away. I mean, what you don't get about that. Red Sun can take his powers away. Magic can hurt him. Kryptonite can hurt him. Batman has access
Yeah,
to
he's really vulnerable to magic. It is true. Jay,
the only thing that can harm Superman aside from kryptonite is magic. The only thing.
Red Sun also takes his powers away. You don't know your Superman history. You shouldn't even really talk if you're not.
Okay, no. Right, because Batman is going to be anywhere near a red fucking sun without something else getting him there. No, we're on fucking Earth, and there is no red sun here.
Red sun rays, same way you can make UV rays or whatever.
You can make red sun rays the same way you can make UV rays. Okay, and as soon as that happens, I'm not in that area anymore because I'm Superman and I'm in fucking space and I've lasered your ass to death. I blew up the fucking planet. I changed back time. I don't have to tactize. I'm fucking Superman and I don't die. Batman dies every time. Batman is stopped every time. Superman lives through it all because Batman fails. Period. Is Superman still alive? Is Superman still alive? Did Batman change his mind? Did Batman change his mind? Is Superman still alive? Is Superman still alive? Did Batman change his mind? Even when they had the death of Superman, even when they brought in creatures and created creatures and wrote them into the comics to bring them in and put a black label in plastic around the whole fucking book, Superman split into 4 and was still alive. And then that stuck, so they brought him back as 1 again because Superman doesn't fucking die. Superman, in the almost 100 years since Superman was fucking invented, he has had more powers and taken away from him than Batman could ever dream of having to stop.
Thank you for proving my point. Batman is always going to be the most badass man alive because Superman has all the powers, and no matter what, Batman is always going to win that fight.
But he doesn't.
Yes, he does.
Period. But he doesn't. Period. But he doesn't. Period. Because Superman is still alive.
Okay, guys.
Superman is still alive, and he knows he can't. So he capitulates and says, "Okay, I will be your slave, Superman. Here's a few other guys to play with." Nobody can. Nobody can. That's why he's not. That's why he's not dead. Jay, he's not dead. Jay, he's not dead. Jay, he's not dead. Jay, he's alive. Superman lives. Superman lives because he wants to. Batman lives because Superman wants him to.
No, Batman lives because Superman knows.
Nope, sorry. Superman is still alive, and Batman had the intent on killing him. And everybody else is still alive. He became evil. He became good then. And he tried to knock him. Jay, I'll say this, Jay.
Every single iteration.
Jay, we agree to disagree. And
hug it out, guys. I do have to go. Yeah, we gotta go. Jay, thank you so much.
We will continue this in the future.
I am glad you were able to call in. We're gonna do this more often. Love you, Jay.
Thank you for calling in.
Talk to you soon. Great to talk to Jay in real time. Joe, thank you.
That was fun. And he makes a compelling argument.
Yeah, no, he made our friend makes some points. But we're actually gonna go this time. Everyone, thank you so much. Have a good one.